Hey guys, Professor Bell, Comic Book University, and the Uncanny X-Men, issue number 5. I actually thought this was going to end the storyline with issue 5. I guess 6 or... You know what? If they got stories to tell, I'll read them. Anyway, let's get onto this comic book. I've actually got a bit to say about it, but let's get into who actually made it. Matthew Rosenberg, Kelly Thompson, and Ed Brisson all got together in a room and were like, let's start writing this thing. And R.B. Silva came along and was like, 3 of you, I'll pencil the whole thing by myself. But then Adriano Di Benedetto, I'm sorry for just, I love you, man. Anyway, comes along and is like, I'm going to ink this. Rachel Rosenberg's like, I'm going to add some color to it. And the VC's Chris Eliopoulos, I guess it is, comes along and is like, yeah, listen, that Corey Petit guy, I think he left VC because he's all over the place now. So I'm going to fill in for him. And he does some lettering. So anyway, Elizabeth Torque does the cover art. And we got John Taylor Christopher doing a variant cover along with Shane Davis and Michelle Delecki. And then Val Staples, too. Of course, Stanley and Jack Kirby created the Uncanny X-Men, the originals. So basically, everybody's all fighting, doing their thing. They're like, rawr, fighting, and yeah. Betsy Braddock, who they went and made a big deal in Jim Zub's recent, but I can't remember which one that was, the Madripoor one, the Hunt for Wolverine, Streets of Madripoor, whatever it was, where, it's like, oh, make a statement and turn Psylocke back into, the regular Elizabeth Braddock instead of, Betsy Braddock instead of the Japanese version, through the Siege Perilous. Let's just fix that. So, okay, cool. She's got a new costume. I imagine she's not as strong as she was before, but who knows? Either way. And she just makes instead of making katanas out of her psychic energy, she makes claymores, which, cool. Storm is here. Jubilee's here. Somehow she healed from that wound because she's still fighting strong. Nightcrawler, Polaris is here kicking butt. Cannonball. And then you got the 4 Horsemen of Salvation under Nate Gray, as this new version of Apocalypse. Apocalypse proper is along with Kitty Pryde and a senator. I can't remember the senator's name. Not important. And these are supposed to represent the mutant, the anti-mutant, and of course the evil, ancient Ensaban Nur type elements to be a council for Nate Gray, because Nate Gray is kind of young and he doesn't really understand a lot, but he is smart enough to know that he doesn't know everything, so he should absolutely have a council. So, okay, that makes sense. I'm understanding better now why these people were trapped here. And Apocalypse, of course, doesn't give very good advice, and Kitty Pryde realized she needs to up her game because they decide that they're going to get rid of all these holy places. The Holy See in Vatican City. What do you call it? I don't think... Yeah. Actually, I think that is where the whole temple basilica is actually. So, the statue of Peter and all that stuff. Statue of Peter, the statue of Paul. Excuse me. No, yeah, statue of Peter. Sorry, and the statue of Mary, the Petra. Anyway, I've seen all that stuff. Another place I seen was Mecca, Saudi Arabia. They get rid of the Kaaba. Wow, that's not going to bowl over very well. Looks like they get rid of the 2 minarets there. The minarets have nothing to do with the Kaaba themselves, so I don't know why those disappeared. But the Kaaba itself, yeah, that seems to be gone. In some place in India, I'm not familiar with there. I've never been to India. Shame, one of these days. But anyway, yeah, that's getting kind of, risque, getting rid of the Kaaba like that. I guess they could have made it a little bit worse and just have bothered all 3 monotheistic religions at the same time and gotten rid of the, not the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, but Masjid al-Aqsa. They could have gotten rid of Masjid al-Aqsa. That would have been something else. And, of course, the walls underneath, which were the former Temple of David. But anyway, yeah. Then again, I don't know if anybody really knows what the Temple Mount, the Masjid al-Aqsa actually looks like. By the way, before I get a bunch of people in the comments saying, yeah, it's the mosque with the golden dome, stop typing because you're wrong. Instead, look it up. What do you call it? So, yeah, the game kind of gets stepped up a lot because this whole false prophets thing and whatnot. Ooh, risque. Someone has stolen the Beast's vaccine, that big vaccine, or that vaccine that the big mob is outside talking about. Give me the vaccine, release it, release the Beast, release the Kraken. So they should call the vaccine the Kraken. I'm just saying, because they're all talking about like release it. Anyway, pass the vaccine. The comic book is very human. All right, you have the very, very psychotic Legion trying to make pals with Jamie Madrox. He's like, you chained me up in a room and made dupes out of me and mind controlled them. I really don't want you to touch me right now. And he's like, you'll see. I'm on your side, man. I love you, dude. He really is a sad case. And this does actually feel very sad, what's happening here. Wow, it's really sad. At the same time, it's interesting to see how Legion kind of looks like Professor X just a little bit when he's in Cerebro. Yeah, you'll get to see down here how he gets rid of his hair. In the meantime, oh, and also just look at this gorgeous picture, man. Oh, what do you call it? Glob doesn't look the best, but man, like everybody else looks good, but look how good Armor looks. God, where's my solo series of Armor? I'll write it one day. God help me, I'll write it one of these days. There we go. Let's put it that way. So, the end of this now, I'm gonna give you the reveal of what happens. I'm not gonna show you the image, because it is a really beautiful image. I will, however, say I haven't opened this yet. And yes, that's what happens. Angel, Angel's one of the four horsemen of salvation, and Betsy uses her influence to get close and then cuts him down in order to try and break that psychic bond that's holding him and to release the Archangel inside of him. That's cute and all. I think that they meant for it to have a lot more impact than what it really did. Here's the thing, man. We've seen this a couple times recently, haven't we? I mean, most recently, didn't Professor X, as the man called X, Phantom X's body, Professor X's mind, didn't he just gift Archangel with the ability to turn back and forth anytime he wants? Maybe that's going to come into play here, but like he completely freaks out. He's like, you don't know what you've done! And it's like, but you have complete control over it now, so who cares? I feel like this was supposed to be a big climax moment, but for me at least, since I've been reading the X-Men, I'm kind of immune. You know what I'm saying? I guess I've had my inoculations for this. I've seen it far too often now where Archangel gets turned and he's all like, rah! I mean, yeah, he's probably going to tear things up. Look, the next issue hasn't happened yet. All right, so the next issue could really drive it home and make me go, yes, this is why I'm a comic book fan. But for right now, I feel like with 3 writers on this comic book, somebody has to have been reading the recent issues, right? Where, like the annual, where he gets control over it, the earlier Astonishing X-Men, where he's like, oh no, I've turned again. And then before that, all those times, I mean, we've seen this before a lot. So this didn't faze me. I looked at it, I was like, it's beautiful art. Honestly, man, even if I'm, what is this, Garrett, who's on this? So, RB Silva. Even if I'm RB Silva, all right? And I'm a fan of the comic books, and I get the script, and I get out my markers and everything, or, my pencil, and I'm ready with my blue pencil to just start drawing all these perfect images, and I get to that last page, I'm like, wait. Really? This happens? I'm getting on the phone real quick, be like, yo, guys, listen, just saying, you sure you want me to draw this? Because this has been done, like, a lot. I don't know how effective this is going to be, That's just me. Hey, look, I'll draw it. I get paid the same either way. But for your guys' sake, yeah, I know this was, like, clearly, by the effectiveness of the art, this was supposed to have a much bigger effect. It did not. It did not. I'm literally going to be holding on to my seat. Well, not literally. Figuratively, I'm going to be holding on my seat. How about that? Hoping that they've got something planned for issue 6 that's going to blow me away. That no matter how much I dig my fingers into the seat, I'm going to get blown away. But for right now, I did not have what I imagine must have been the desired effect of this final page. Sorry. Anyway, guys, here's looking towards the next issue and hoping that it really kicks butt. All right, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.